What I did without choice, in the name of peace and sanity. But not in the name of the Doctor. Yeah, so before there were Rittenhouse Archives on-card Doctor Who autographs, Topps released a couple of sets, with sticker autographs, and authentic costume relic cards, whatever that means. Since Topps is known for heavily relying on sourced fabric costume cards, and the Doctor Who cards don't mention on the back that the wardrobe was worn by the actor, I'd be wary of assuming any of these were actor-worn. John Hurt as the War Doctor has sticker autographs in 3 products: 2016 Topps Doctor Who Extraterrestrial Encounters, 2016 Topps Doctor Who Timeless, and 2018 Topps Doctor Who Signature Series. I went with the Timeless one as I like the aesthetics of the card design from that set best. The eBay seller that I bought the card from gave me a free medallion card to go with it. I'm happy to have acquired this autograph as I remember the actor fondly, not just for his War Doctor portrayal, but also for his Kilgara Dragon voice work in Merlin, and of course his Ollivander character in Harry Potter. Let's go to the next Doctor, where the new Who all started. The 9th Doctor inscription that I decided on was actually used as the promo image for the set. With the inscriptions, some people put the inscription under the signature, while others place the inscription above the signature. You might also notice a difference with the longer inscriptions of people splitting the inscription to the new line on different words, not that it really matters. Most of the time Christopher puts a dot after his name when he signs, but not always. The other 9th Doctor inscription that I really like was the Let's Go Explore one, because of the adventurous spirit that it carries. This is the first time Christopher Eccleston signed Doctor Who cards, so kudos to Rittenhouse Archives Trading Card Company for making that happen. I paired this autograph, of course, with my Rose Tyler companion autograph card. I decided on the Everyone Leaves Home in the End inscription, after being away from home for a long time, and it just felt right. It also nicely fit the theme for the inscriptions that I had in mind, but more on that later. I also like how the photo matches the spirit of the inscription in that, well, Rose is away from home in a TARDIS on an adventure. Her other great inscription that I really like is Bad Wolf. I'm tempted to try to pick it up one day, even though I wasn't planning on having repeats. The Bad Wolf card would pair niftily with the War Doctor card, and it's a great card to commemorate the brilliant 50th anniversary episode with. To my mind, the 50th anniversary in which Bad Wolf makes the appearance coincided with the peak of Doctor Who, both in terms of popularity and writing. Moving on, I've got the 10th Doctor paired with one of his companions and his daughter. There are no 10th Doctor inscribed cards, and it might be that the first time we see David Tennant inscribed cards they will feature him as the 14th Doctor. Who knows though? The inscription that I was looking forward to the most was a simple Allons-y. Similarly, with the 9th Doctor, a simple "fantastic!" exclamation would be warmly received by the collectors, I think. Just in case you didn't know, David played multiple Doctors: the 10th Doctor, the Meta-Crisis Doctor, and the 14th Doctor. After some thought, I like the border design of his autograph cards a bit better, as these don't rely on photoshopped gradient backgrounds, and the design goes better with the inscribed cards design. The full lead design was featured in the promo images for the set. I got the Doctor's daughter Jenny card in the same design as my 10th Doctor card to match it. Originally, the series 1-4 set didn't have her autograph cards, but later they released these in the series 5-7 set as an expansion. I gotta say, the nice thing about Rittenhouse Archives is that even if they don't manage to release certain signatures in a product, that doesn't stop them from trying to do right by the collectors by helping them fill in the gaps later on with future releases. Even though Jenny was only in one episode, she's quite a memorable character. A while ago, Big Finish released audiobooks with Georgia doing the voice acting work as Jenny. Off-screen, there's this wholesome factor of Georgia being the daughter to the actor that portrayed the Fifth Doctor, and she's also married to David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. I've got the Doctor's companion Martha Jones' inscribed "Just Believe in Me" card. The Doctor in fact believed in her in that moment and she saved him. Her other interesting inscription is the Expelliarmus one, as it's Harry Potter themed, and the Martha character in fact yelled Expelliarmus in that one William Shakespeare episode. You might also know Freema from the medical drama New Amsterdam, where she played a doctor again, as the Martha Jones character happened to be a doctor as well. I got the Christina Cole autograph. She played Harvey Specter's girlfriend in Suits. I also got the Sontaran character card because I thought the inscription was cool, and we see Sontarans throughout multiple Doctor Who eras. And as last of my series 1 to 4 autograph cards is the Face of Bo, to my mind the hidden gem of this set. Stu and Roger did so many great inscriptions that collectors will remember fondly for years to come. All of these were put on the full bleed card design rather than the regular inscription design that we are used to. When an important trading card set has a mystery to it, like us knowing there might be more great undiscovered inscriptions somewhere out there, that makes that set evergreen in my eyes. So I think it's time I reveal the thought process behind the inscription that I settled on. There is a theme to the inscription that you might pick up on as I show next inscriptions, and the theme is words to live by. And with my chosen Face of Bo card, the words to live by theme applies quite literally. Where I couldn't find an inscription that would fit that theme, I tried to get a card that just had an adventurous spirit ring to it, or a card that reminded me of an interesting moment. Now let's move on to my favorite series 5 to 7 era of Doctor Who. Matt Smith probably contributed the highest overall number of great inscription variants. My favorite by far are his signature Geronimo! And the Madman with a box quote. Ultimately, I decided on the Geronimo one, as it had a similar brave feel to it as the Amy inscription that I pair it with. And it also forms what I call in my head a custom inscription puzzle, which I cover in more detail in my video about the inscription puzzles. I find it neat that in the picture the Doctor is using his sonic screwdriver, as I have a replica of that very same sonic screwdriver on my shelf. The Geronimo inscriptions are known to come with a different number of O characters at the end. For many of us, including myself, the Doctor Who journey started with the first 11th Doctor introduction story, and so I got probably the most memorable inscription relating to that episode, which is of course, "There's a crack in my wall." My Rory card is from an older 2018 Topps Doctor Who Signature Series set with sticker autographs, as I got it before the Rittenhouse Archives sets came out. It pictures Rory as the Lone Centurion, sometimes also called the Last Centurion. Out of the available inscriptions for him, I like the one relating to him being the legendary Lone Centurion. It's the super short printed, the Rocking Roman. And when I say legendary, I do mean it, because as explained by the exhibit narrator in the National Museum, according to legends, wherever the Pandorica was taken, throughout its long history, the Centurion would be there, guarding it. Sometimes the checklist doesn't tell you the whole story. Take for instance the Mr. Williams Pond inscription, and notice that on the card Williams is formatted with strike-through. It's a reference to the Big Bang episode wedding scene, where the Doctor calls Rory Mr. Pond and tells him that's how it works now. Clara Oswald is the only Doctor Who character that I have 3 autograph cards of. After all, my nickname and my channel name were inspired by the name Oswin. The first 2 episodes with Jenna Coleman are my favorite by a long shot. I got her most well-known quote that was actually said in all 3 of her first episodes. The first time it gets said is my favorite scene in all of Doctor Who. What's neat about this card is that the image picked for the card is from an episode where a new clever boy is said. I'm hoping we'll get more Jenna inscribed cards with different images in what I'm guessing will be series 8 to 10 card set at some point. Speaking of the first 2 Clara episodes, I got these 2 autographs because of the Season 7 The Snowman Christmas special episode that I try to watch every year during Christmas. Between all the releases, I only ever bought 1 box of the Series 5 to 7 release and a corresponding binder with a free promo card included. I think that the Series 5 to 7 set was a much better set to open than the previous 1 to 4 and 11 to 12 releases. By all reports, in a box you could pretty much reliably expect either an autograph of a companion or a doctor. Obviously, most of the time it would be the companion. I think a card like the Young Amy wouldn't even count as the main companion hit, so you'd probably get another big-ish auto in the box. The Series 1 to 4 boxes generally had 5 autographs, and the Series 11 to 12 boxes had 4, with the average autograph I'd say being of a lesser character than you could expect from a Series 5 to 7 box. As far as I know, the Series 1 to 4 cases had either the 9th or the 10th Doctor auto, but not both. In all the Doctor Who Rittenhouse Archives releases so far, a case consisted of 12 boxes, so the chances of pulling a Doctor auto from one Series 1 to 4 box were slim. In my Series 5 to 7 box, I got 98 unique base cards out of the 117 cards base set. I pulled 6 autographs from my box, which seems to be the overall norm despite you technically being guaranteed only 4 autographs. This Professor Song autograph was my main hit from the box that I got. I really like her spoilers inscription, and I am curious to see what other inscriptions we might get in a future card set release covering Peter Capaldi's run as the Doctor. For the most part, I'm collecting inscriptions, but I like the regular autographs as well, as they serve sort of like a blank canvas in my head, with various codes coming to my mind when I look at the cards. For people looking to collect the River Song autographs, there are also Miss Zucker cards, who was the second incarnation of the archaeologist River Song. There are no autographs of her first incarnation character, but I saw a pack-inserted sketch of Melody Pond regenerating. I pulled this Ian Glenn The Statues Are Advancing inscription from that one box that I got. This actor is very well known for playing Jorah Mormont in numerous episodes of Game of Thrones, right from the very first episode. The photo here is from the episode where the Doctor educates the statues about the one thing you never put in a trap. Because, well, you should know. To quote the Doctor, if you're smart, if you value your continued existence, if you have any plans about seeing tomorrow, there is one thing you never, ever put in a trap. So far there was no set covering Peter Capaldi's run. The folks from Rittenhouse Archives mention on their message board that they might not be able to get the cards signed by him. We shall see. Leaf Trading Card Company released non-licensed sticker autograph cards with his signature a while ago though. I got these 2 13th Doctor Jodie inscription cards to go next to each other and complete the inscription puzzle. The quote that these inscriptions are part of goes like this: "None of us know for sure what's out there. That's why we keep looking. Keep your faith. Travel hopefully. The universe will surprise you. Constantly." The unique thing about the 11 to 12 set release was that it came out shortly after Season 13 starring Jodie Earth. With the other Doctors, collectors unfortunately had to wait long years for a set release from Topps or Rittenhouse Archives featuring autograph cards from their favorite Doctors. The Fugitive Doctor is the last Doctor that I have to show you today. This quote nicely describes the Doctor. I got the God card with the neat inscription about Gallifrey. God was the Time Lord tasked with capturing the Fugitive Doctor. Rit was prolific with providing us with many interesting one-of-one inscriptions, which doesn't happen often in these sets. For a long time I had saved searches looking for one of the quirky ones, but nothing ever popped up during that time I looked. I also bought the Tecteon card, as at one point I wanted to have every Time Lord card, but I abandoned that project since. Out of the first 3 Rittenhouse Archives Doctor Who releases came out only one autograph from an actor playing the master character. And it's this one, signed by Sasha and mine inscribed, "A little chaos is a wonderful thing." And next to him I've got Sharmus, who sacrificed himself to stop the Spy Master. I think I managed to get the best inscription of his. I'm fond of it as it presents sort of as a wish and also a reminder of the importance of luck. Ian has also collectible autograph cards for Star Wars, Rogue One and Game of Thrones sets. When available, I try to get at least one card that represents the Christmas spirit to have something to put on display during the festive period. I love the image on this card. It has my favorite Doctor and companion in a Christmassy environment as they are exploring a town literally called Christmas. I only have 2 more cards of that sort in my collection. These happen to be the 1993 Star Wars Galaxy Santa 3PO and 1994 Santa Yoda. At this point I shared with you all the autograph cards that I have. If you'll allow me, I wanted to share with you a couple more thoughts about these Doctor Who sets. Let's do an honorable mentions segment first. The card that really stands out to me, of course I might be in a minority here, is the super short printed Madame Kovarian "Good Men Have Too Many Rules" inscription. In return, the Doctor corrected her, saying that good men don't need rules. And that day wasn't the day to find out why he had so many. That inscription also brings to my mind the iconic Professor River song voiceover about the good man that started with her saying, "Demons run when a good man goes to war." The other inscription card I really like is the Lorna Bucket "He Said Run" card. This card reminds me of the Doctor as the mighty warrior and the scene where she bravely protected the child at all costs. There is also the fact that the prayer leaf handcrafted by Lorna was featured in the biggest reveal scene in Doctor Who. There is a ton of cards that I wish we could get, but out of all of them there is simply one that would be in the league of its own. I'm thinking of Tom Baker as the curator from the 50th anniversary. If they were also to do the Gallifrey Falls No More quote inscription, that card could be the best Doctor Who card ever released judged on merit. Tom Baker currently has on-card autographs as him as the 4th Doctor in the Strictly Inc. Definitive Series 1 and 2 sets from year 2000 and 2001. Also, 3 Topps Doctor Who sets between 2015 and 2017 included his sticker autographs. There are multiple Doctor and Companion dual autographs. Some were pack inserted while others were distributed as an incentive for people or businesses that bought multiple cases of the product. My problem with many of these is the photo selection. I wish all the photos were always taken from a frame as seen in an actual episode that aired, or at least a promo image with a background that doesn't look heavily photoshopped. That's how Rittenhouse Archives does it with the Game of Thrones dual autographs, and collectors love it. Unfortunately, many of the Doctor Who duals have photoshopped gradient backgrounds. There is no Clara and 11th Doctor dual yet, which I'd like to pick up possibly regardless of the photo selection. I don't fret about it not being released though, as the 10th Doctor with Martha Jones or Donna Noble dual autographs were also released late as a Series 1-4 expansion in the Series 5-7 product. So when you are picking these cards on the resale market, one thing to pay attention to is whether the author inscription runs off the card. The ones that don't are generally a bit more valuable due to the eye appeal. grading these is nonsense, but for instance, as far as I understand, graders shouldn't be handing out 10 auto grades if the auto touches the edge of the card, although surprisingly often some slip through the cracks, which makes you wonder about the point of grading. But that's another story. The other big draw of the Rittenhouse Archives Doctor Who Series 1 to 7 releases, next to the autograph cards, are of course sketch cards. It just so happens that I have a video on my channel covering my collection of these.